Hi, Elga. Nice to meet you for our today's cancer talk. I would like to talk with you about the six phases of the illness of cancer, and perhaps you can tell us why TBR Cared divides into six phases this illness. What is the sense behind it?
Hi, Thomas. Nice. Thank you for being here with me today. Yes, the six phases, and it makes totally sense because you put that actually together, and also you wrote a book about the six phases. So therefore, it makes sense to think about what could be these six phases be. And the first one is definitely the suspicion. So, you don't have a diagnosis yet. You feel that maybe something is wrong. You detect something within your body, and then you find maybe a practitioner, maybe a doctor, where you will go to, and this person will have a look. So it is in this phase. So you don't know anything, but it is this underlying fears, is a fear. It is like not certain that there is something, and a lot of anxiety probably comes up in this phase already, where you just don't know, and you think about how it's going to be once it is cancer. So in your mind is already the whole movie happening. And so this is a phase where actually nobody really thinks about getting some help already. But we as psycho-oncologists, we suggest that this would be the best time to start looking for someone, because this is where a lot of things are happening in the body. And so the anxiety and the angst that is arising, this is actually what can make everything really worse. Yeah. So
Yeah.
that's why we would love to have everybody starting to look for help. So if you know anybody that is in this phase, like a friend that will talk to you, that they fear that they have something, please recommend them to go already and see someone like
I think
us.
it's very important help when you get a psycho-oncologist on your side, yeah, and you can talk to someone who is not so close to you, because all the
Yes.
people around you, your partners, your
Yeah,
family, like this, they
get
they
scared as well. Yeah.
that's the point, yeah.
Mhm.
And to see someone neutral and who can help you with the anxiety. Yeah, you have some tools, I think, to
I
fight
mean,
against.
yes, we do have tools, and because to help you to calm down, you can. I love the thing that you showed me like many years ago when I had to go through something. It was not cancer, but I had some another issue, and he said, you just sit here and just clap and. You cross your arms and you clap while you're thinking of that what happened, and you just do this for 5-10 minutes, and it will bring the two brain hemispheres together and back into balance, and it will calm you down. And I still like to do this when anything happens, and I love to also combine it with some essential oils that also I know that help me to calm down. And it is a wonderful, easy to do. You can do it anywhere where you are, for example. Yeah.
And that would be perfect recommendation when the people came in this first phase to the psycho-oncologist, when they get this tool of clapping or tapping. And so it's not necessary to take this anxiety too deep in your system inside, because that causes stress, and stress is not the
Yeah.
best for your immune system.
Exactly. So it will bring everything down. So to help you breathe, to also some breathing exercises. That's what we show also our clients. Yeah. So to have some deep breathing, because once you're anxious, your breathing stops kind of right here, right? So, and it will help you a lot if you consciously deep breathe into your belly, and count maybe on the on the count of 5 or 4, just to extend the exhale, and to help you really bringing this nervous system to calm down. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And so I think it's a phase where you have to decide, what do I have to do? Do I want to go to a doctor or not? Yeah, will I think what comes goes? Yeah, and or do I have to take a right diagnosis? And so it has to take some decisions. You have to make decisions. Yeah? And I think it's also a point for the psycho-oncologists, or?
Yes, absolutely. This one, and even if you decide then to go to the next phase, which is the diagnosis and the treatment plan, this is where that the same thing applies. So, because in this, when you're not certain, when things are like a little bit playing a havoc within yourself, then you're totally in from your brain stem, so this is like the animalistic emotions that come. You cannot think. Yeah. So you just react, and that's what you don't want. So you want to be not in your brainstem. You want to be in your frontal lobe, where you can make decisions, where you can think about clearly about something, and look at different options that you have, and all these things. Yeah. So this is what we want to achieve with this, in these first 2 phases, to keep calm, to be able to make a decision, either go for treatment or go for diagnosis first. If you want to go for diagnosis, if you decide you want to, then probably while you're waiting for a diagnosis, even, in a calm manner, start thinking about, what is it is that you would love to see. Yeah. So we can also project, we can do a lot of things with our mind to help us projecting good outcomes. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So this is the motto of the TBA Care, the mind over matter. And what means it?
It means that we use our mind to overcome the body, to overcome these reactions of the body that is, and a lot of times, especially when it comes to this bad news, so to speak, when it comes to, the body just reacts, and it is just emotions. And so we have to outsmart these emotions, and we can only do this by exercising our brain, our mind.
Mm.
Yeah.
And so the mind is over the matter, and means also that you can change with the right thoughts. Also, down on the cell level, you can change epigenetic things. Yeah, and this is a real new and modern scientific research. Yeah, that you can change down to the cell level with the right thoughts. Yeah, the circumstances and the.
It has proven many times in many different areas, that whatever you rehearse in your mind, that is what the body shows. You can train the body, and it starts like by simple things like playing the piano, for example. You can rehearse in your mind, and then you can play better than people that just rehearse all the time physically. And so therefore, if you train with your mind, your body, then it will behave in a certain way, because these emotions goes back to like when we were small children. This is how we still react. And so these are imprinted emotions in our system. And so we don't want to allow these to be the lead for our life, right? And for what is happening in the near future now, if we're facing something like that, like a cancer diagnosis.
Yeah, what is the recommendation in the second phase, this diagnostic and therapy planning phase? What do you recommend at this phase?
The most important thing is, because we know, right, from our experience, is when people receive their diagnosis from, usually it is an oncologist, right, they immediately have a treatment plan ready for you in that moment when you receive the diagnosis. And maybe even you have rehearsed the thought, maybe I have cancer or not, so even you thought you might have been prepared, but you still, this news that you definitely have cancer is creating havoc in your system. So therefore, and whoops, you're back into your brain stem. And so therefore, this is not a good time now to think about a treatment plan. So we would always recommend having a second date, a second time where you meet. And in this time, to the next appointment, you have time to think about, and also, what you have, maybe you went to get a different opinion, whatever. So, but you don't have to react, and you don't have to take an immediate decision. That is very important. Although the oncologists, they would like you to go ahead straight away, most probably. So to resist that. And the second thing is to make sure that you don't go alone. To when you receive the news, whatever that might be, because you don't know at that point, when you go and receive the diagnosis you have or you don't have cancer, take somebody, a loved one along, a friend, your husband, your wife, your mother, whatever, take someone that is there for you, because you also don't want to be in traffic and drive when you have this kind of news, right? So these are like two very, very important things.
Yeah, you talked about a second opinion. What do you mean about this?
I like to recommend while you're waiting to go for the treatment, or you have already received the diagnosis and you wait for the appointment to talk about the treatment plan, I would definitely like to visit another practitioner, and that could be somebody that is specialized already, or somebody that you know from other people that have had good opinions or had some qualified equipment, or some things that you feel this is really good. It doesn't have to be a same kind of hospital or something, because different practitioners maybe have a different look, and they can come up also with a different explanation for what it is that you experience. And so therefore, I think it is a good idea to just get maybe a totally different person, a practitioner, a health practitioner, but that it is not necessarily in the same field. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then I think with a second opinion, you can go stronger in this therapy planning phase, and you are more secure. It's right what my doctor says, and I have a good doctor, and the other doctor says the same, and so I have more trust in my treatment now, which will come.
Yeah, and maybe because the doctors, they follow one kind of path, and there are also other paths, and this also gives you some time maybe to think about what kind of things would you like to add, or you talk to different people, and you find where you will feel comfortable with what you would like to see and how you want to improve your life, And of course, working with one of us is also the most beneficial, because it will definitely help you to sort all these things that are like really in your head out, and get a clearer picture and a good direction where you would like to go. Yeah. And this will give you so much confidence that, because the more certain you feel about your way, about your treatment, about how your near future will be, the most beneficial it is for you and also the people around you. Yeah.
And you come back to your own power, you empower yourself. Yeah, when you have an own opinion about treatment, and you know something about it. Yeah, and that empowers yourself, I think. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Because we tend to forget that a doctor is a consultant. He consults me, but I am the one that makes the decision. And that is very important to discern. Yes.
So, and then we know now what will happen, and we go into the third phase in this treatment phase. Yeah. And
Yes.
I think there is a lot of side effects by the treatment. Yeah. And what the
Depending
psycho-oncologist,
on what treatment you
yeah,
choose, right? So if you go for chemotherapy, for example, yes, then everybody knows there is a lot of side effects and how you can prepare better. So we help you, really thinking all the details through to help you be better prepared, whichever road you choose, that you are really, you have everything in place for yourself, that okay, I can go through and I can, I have everything that I need. And it can be simple things as, if you choose to go for chemo, and because you will be there for some time in the hospital, that you have everything to make this time the most easy or ease for you, so you have from music, meditation, something to cuddle, something to smell, something maybe to because sometimes maybe you get a bad breath or a bad taste in the mouth, that you have something to put in your mouth, things like that, so all this, what we know from experience, that will help you pack accordingly and be prepared. Yeah.
so you go with your own package into the treatment. Yeah. That's nice, a nice idea. Yeah. And it feels more secure. You have things with you, they are familiar with you, and it's a good atmosphere. Mm.
And even maybe, before you have a first treatment, ask them if you can see the room, if you can see where that will happen, so that you feel already much more comfortable, and it is not like you kind of scared when you go there or so, I think all this will help you tremendously. And so we will work, of course, much more in depth on these issues, to help you really be settled.
Yeah, wonderful. The next phase is this phase where the tumor in the best place has gone or is smaller. Yeah, and the remission phase. Yeah, and what I think this is the first phase. Normally, people have the time or think about what can I do better, and perhaps the first time where the psycho-oncologists are really asked for. And the first three phases, the people have not in mind or at mind that you can take help for yourself. Yeah, and I think it's a little bit pity. Yeah, because when you take the help in the first phases, it will give you a better standing and a better grounding. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, this remission phase is actually very interesting, because it kind of, first you get a breather, right? So you just, okay, the tumor is either gone or has reduced significantly. And so this would be first a phase where it is good to look at, okay, how did it even get there? So you may have some thoughts coming up and thinking, what has this to do with me? Did something lead to this? Anything that I thought I did, I behaved, I believed. So this is a very interesting phase for us as psycho-oncologists, because we will help you really digging deep into your soul search, if you want. Yeah. So yes, of course, so we're not forcing anybody, but if you would really love to find some answers, this is most probably the time when you are ready to look at. And then at the same time, you may also have already like, what if it's coming back? Yeah. So this also is like in the back of your mind. There might still be something that you face, still some anxiety and things that we will help also to take care of you, to help you going through these ambivalent things, but that can happen in this phase. Yeah.
So it's a good time to prove what you will take with you in your life from your old life, yeah, and what you have to throw away and to say goodbye, perhaps also to some people. Think it could be that some people are not the best surrounding for you, and so some people will say goodbye. I'm not longer your friend or your partner sometimes. Yeah.
Yes, a lot of things can happen because this is the the time where people realize, wow, my life does end at some point of time. Maybe it's very soon, who knows? But did I actually live that all what I wanted to live? Did I only comply with other people's thoughts of me, or who is me? So this is a very interesting time to start some personal development and to make this experience of this threatening disease to be of something of value for you, for yourself. Yeah. And we have a lot of people that come out and say, you know what, this cancer is actually the best thing that happened to me, because it allowed me finally to whatever. Yeah.
Well, yeah. Yeah, but you talk about this idea, it can come back, yeah, and recidivate, and this is the 5th phase, yeah, and
relapse, yeah, it can happen, a relapse, yeah, and so this is again, of course, it doesn't have to happen, but if it happens, then we also have a lot of tools how you can deal with this phase. Yeah, because you probably you want to rethink if what you have done before as treatment, if you would really want to go through again, or if you want to make any changes, and all this, what it can mean to you.
I think many people will think then about alternative ways for treatments.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of times, yeah. So they follow first the allopathic way, and once this does not really bring the results that they are wanting to have, then a lot of times they're looking also for alternatives, And also we are not specialized, of course, we are not doctors, and we are not allowed to treat anything. But of course, we help people also processing their ideas, and maybe we are good connected and say, maybe you want to connect with this practitioner or that health practitioner to give you some good ideas of what else you could do.
And to encourage the people to go on their own way, yeah, and perhaps sometimes friends, the parents, the family, and you have to go at this way, yeah, and so it needs.
Yes, you're resilient to the opinions of other people, and you figure out, hey, this is not what I want. I want to have something different.
Yes.
Yeah, and because they're always coming from their own fears. Yeah, so, and they want to just project it onto the patient, and so this is a good time to stand up for yourself and say, well, it's my body. I have to endure all this, and of course, from their perspective, that is, we can understand, because their fear to lose you and all these things. So, and this is a moment where you realize you are really on your own, yeah, and we're all on our own. So this is an experience to also treasure, that this experience. Yes, we are actually alone, and this is such a wonderful experience. It is not something threatening, to realize what a gift that is, that I am here and I can make my own decisions. Yeah.
Yeah. So when we speak it in another way, alone, we can say all one, and so
all one.
and so
Yes.
Yeah, it's a deeper secret inside of this world. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and
exactly.
then I think the last phase is I think the most important one, because it is in all the phases inside this thinking about dead and dying and the end of life. And I think this comes up at the first moment where you have,
Yeah, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. Yeah,
yeah, and
and yeah. So therefore, we call this the finiteness of life. Yeah. So to deal with this, I mean, not cancer patients alone have to deal with this. It's like you and me as well, right? It is just like it seems always so far away that we don't want to look at it. And but this gives actually, but we need to deal with it. Every one of us needs to deal with it, to think of, okay, what's going to happen.
we all will
And
die. Yeah.
yeah, we all will die. There is no escape. And so the way is, okay, how do we want to go? How do we, if we have families to leave behind, how do I want to leave them behind? Have I given them everything I wanted to give them? Have I made a list of passwords just to something simple? Yeah, to having made a will, or, I remember a client, he had a young son that he left behind, or it was clear that he will not be able to make it. That he said, okay, I need to show him how the heater in the house works, because nobody knew how the heater works, like something so simple. Yeah. But we call it also, I mean, this is already when somebody knew that they cannot make it. But even if you still kind of, you're well, and there is nothing inside that says you will die soon, packing a last bag, and have it ready, so that, and then you can just forget about it, and you can put it in the corner, and it can be there for another 50 years, who cares? Yeah, but you have done what you need to do. And you can even, set a date that every now and then, every few years, you will pay another look and see if everything is up to date in it. But you have done it, and you can go with a good feeling. And it's also, like, for example, what kind of first aid or something you want to have to receive, do you want to be kept alive if you pass out, or whatever, like all these kind of things can be already written down. And that is, I think, very important, because it will help also the people that are around you, because they don't need to make a decision. You have made the decision for yourself already.
So being prepared for this end is the recommendation. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So now it's a quick overlook over these phases. Yeah. Perhaps you got some information, and perhaps you feel that psycho-oncology is really helpful in each of these phases. Yeah. To be aside with you. You are not alone. I think this is the message, the most important message. Yeah. You are not alone. And I think,
and we are people that are equipped. We have a lot of tools that can help you, that like just a friend will not have, so that is basically, the biggest difference, that we know how the mind, how our emotions, how everything works, and that we're can help with that the best.
Thank you, Elke, for this overview, and I'd like to see you in the next video. And
Thank
have a
you.
good time, all you, and I wish you all the best for you.